there has been 31 times in history that players average over 30 points per game while posting a 60 true shooting percentage. Jordan has done it 4 times, which is the most in history.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all having a good day so far. So I heard you all loud and clear. I had a ton of requests to check out this video here by Basketball Universe, and this one is titled "The 23 Most Game-Changing Michael Jordan Stats." And the irony is I saw this on my feed and I immediately set it to my React Now playlist, but then following that I got into comments and I saw all of you were on the ball too, so thank you very much. Sometimes I miss these awesome videos, and you guys are awesome at keeping me in check and whatever, basically just feeding me these great videos. So I appreciate it, guys. Great basketball channel. It's been a while since I reacted to a Basketball Universe video, and I highly recommend you guys go down to the description, click on that link is going to take you to the Basketball Universe channel. Subscribe to this channel. This is a fantastic basketball YouTube channel. And anyways, let's move on. Let's get right to the video, because I'm actually the title's got my interest. Game-changing stats, 23 of them for MJ, so let's do it. Guys, I wanted to give a quick shout out to channel members. You're gonna see a list of channel members in the description of this video as well, and I wanted to give a quick shout out to new channel member, Gun Club Kyle. Welcome to the crew. I've already seen you in the members section with your Larry O'Brien trophy next to your name, man. Good to see you. Thank you very much for the support, and thank you all channel members for your support. That all being said, like this video, hype this video if you could. It helps out a lot, and let's do this.
This is not your basic Michael Jordan stats video. These are rarely brought up numbers that will put the nail in the coffin in the supposed GOAT debate.
Oh, it's done.
When you think you've heard it all before, you'll quickly realize that there are so many layers to his greatness. I found 20...
Hey, let's do a quick thing in the comments here, everybody. Everybody watching this video, y'all who are rocking with me, do you believe at this point there's actually a GOAT debate? I don't. I think it's so far over that it's just it's silly to consider it a debate at this point. But for me, it's just talking points.
3 stats that will change.
I'll always talk about why MJ's greater, but it doesn't mean it's a competition. This, it ended years ago.
The GOAT debate forever. The first one has to do with the level of competition that he faced in the playoffs. We're going to look at the number of 60-win teams that he faced. Out of all the top 75 players, he is second all-time. He faced 9 such teams. The player above him is his teammate, Scottie Pippen. He faced 10 60-win teams. But let's not forget that he lost 2 of those teams once he left the Bulls. On the other hand, Michael went 7-2 against them. So if you're one of those people that say he only went 6-0 in the finals because of the competition, the stats completely debunk that theory. Stat number 2 complements that very well. The reasons why the Bulls kept winning is because they had the greatest playoff performer. It is extremely tough for a player to perform at a high level for 4 straight rounds. The numbers say that no one was more consistently dominant when it mattered the most.
Yeah. And especially after playing all 82 games, too, to have that much willpower.
Only been 15 times since the shot clock era that players average over 30 points per game while leading his team to the title. Out of those 15 times, Jordan has done it 6 times. As you can see, Shaquille O'Neal is the only other player to do it multiple times. Anyone can average 30 points in the regular season, but when you're trying to lead a team to the title, is not as easy as it looks.
Absolutely.
Stat number 3.
I agree with Basketball Universe 100%. When we're talking about regular season stats, it never means much to me. I always want to see what are you doing in the playoffs. That's when it all counts. To me, regular season is like practice.
Rates that when it comes to playoff performers, there's Michael Jordan, and then there's everyone else. If we look at the top 10 highest playoff scoring averages from players that ended up winning the title, Michael has 6 appearances. That, of course, includes the top 2 spots. So the way a player performs in the playoffs is an important aspect in determining who the GOAT is.
Agreed.
It's hard to explain why anyone wouldn't have Jordan as the greatest ever. With stat number 4, we take a break from his playoff scoring dominance. We now want to highlight how legendary of a two-way player he was. For the greatest two-way player title, there are many players that are worthy of consideration, but there is one stat that favors MJ in a major way. Did you know that there have only been 3 players that have ever won the scoring title and was selected to the All-NBA First Team defense in the same season? Those 3 players are Jerry West, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant. Jerry did it once, Kobe did it twice, and Jordan did it a staggering 9 times. There is simply no one that scored at the rate that Michael did while playing defense at a historic level.
Yeah, and I did notice that a lot of players, they would try to make it a point for 1 or 2 seasons and they'd really focus on defense, trying to win like a DPOY or whatever. And after that, they fell off. Like Jordan was a natural, true defender. He just happened to be the most dangerous scorer we've ever seen in the NBA at the same time. But it's in his nature to try to shut people down on defense.
We can absolutely prove that with stat number 5. We're going to look at all the winners of the Defensive Player of the Year. History says that most of the winners were defensive specialists. Their primary focus was playing defense, and they didn't contribute much on scoring. Out of the 43 winners, only 12 were able to average over 20 points per game. That is easy to explain why. It's tough for a player to be considered the best defender in the league if you're putting so much attention on offense. 99% of players don't have that kind of energy.
Yeah. And that's the key word. It's always energy. And that's why you normally see defensive specialists, they slack off on offense often, and offensive specialists, they slack off on defense. I don't like it, but it happens more than it doesn't happen. But when you get somebody like an MJ, it's special. I hate to keep bringing the guy's name up, but it's just because it's fresh and it's current. I'm looking at Wemby on defense and he's going full power. And I'm looking at Wemby on offense and he's going full power. I hope he keeps doing it. It's been a long time since I've seen somebody care about both sides of the ball equally.
We're talking about Michael Jordan. As you can see, he easily posted the highest points per game average. He is the only one to average over 30 points. But that's not all.
Can I see the list again? Giannis. Yep. Hakeem. That's who I was expecting to be up there. Dwight Howard. Yeah, that makes sense. Alonzo was getting 21 back in 99 in Miami with Mr. Hardaway.
He is the only one to average over 30 points.
Down there.
But that's not all. He posted the 3rd highest assist per game average. He had the ability to carry his team on both ends of the floor. If you want to call him the greatest two-way player, the numbers are certainly in your favor. This leads us to stat number 6. There have only been 12 times that a player posted over 40 points and 5 steals in a playoff game. Out of those 12 occasions, Michael did it 3 times.
Jeez.
There's no such thing as taking a break on defense with him. He would completely tear apart the defense on one end. On the other, he will lock down his opponent or fly across the passing lanes to create a turnover.
Just watching him at my age is making me tired. Like, I don't know where he had that energy. Like how it happened. Nobody should have that amount of endless energy to just unless he just like collapses after the game. But I don't think so, because the legend is he's up all night. He never sleeps. He's out playing golf before the games. So where is all this energy coming from, man?
Amazing the type of energy he had.
Yeah.
His all-around greatness doesn't get talked about enough. We're not going to dismiss that part of his game here. For stat number 7, he contains a record that completely destroys the trash statement that he was only a scorer.
Oh, yeah.
He is the only guard in history to lead his team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks in a playoff series. He accomplished this in the 1989 second round series against the New York Knicks. He averaged 35.7 points on 55% shooting, 9.5 rebounds, 8.3 assists, 2.5 steals, and 1.3 blocks per game. For stat number 8, we're not just going to limit ourselves to one playoff series. Let's dive into what he can do for an entire playoff run. we're only looking at players that at least went past the first round.
Okay.
Did you know that he's only one of 2 players to average over 30 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals per game for the postseason? As you can see, he did it 4 times.
And I guess this is why people used to say the style of basketball you can't win with it. Because the only other person on this list is James Harden. Guess what? Never won. But Jordan broke the mold, man.
Again, to say that he only contributed to scoring is just ignorant. The numbers clearly suggest that he had an impact in every single aspect of the game. Why else would he be the only player to ever accomplish what we're going to discuss for stat number 9? He is the only player to win the MVP, Finals MVP, scoring title, All-NBA First Team, All-NBA First Team Defense, and All-Star in the same season. If anyone else accomplished this, we would all be saying that they have one of the greatest single seasons in league history.
Absolutely.
But Michael didn't just do it once. He did it 4 times. When it comes to players at their peak, Jordan proved time and time again that no one compares. His individual dominance can't be stated enough, but we also want to look at the way he led his team to greatness.
Yeah, I think it's every single one of your videos, I end up saying the same thing. And it's redundant, but he's the greatest of all time simply because look at how much he won. But not only that, he was the best on offense and he was the best on defense out there. Every game. All the way to the championship. You can't, there's no saying well, James Harden did score 34 points a game this season or whatever. So that's pretty important, right? Yeah. But what about this guy who was, actually the DPOY of the season and, he dominated the other end of the ball. James Harden didn't do that. Oh yeah. Now we have a debate, huh? Who was more valuable? With Jordan, it wasn't that way. Yeah. He's the leading scorer in the league, but he's also the best defender on the league. In other words, we all knew at the time when we were watching Jordan's career, every single season, he actually deserved MVP. I'd say starting at about 1987, maybe 1988. But by that point, every season that he played a full season, he was the MVP. We all knew it. But it was voter fatigue. You can't just keep giving the same guy the award year after year. But we knew he was the best out there. And everybody in the league knew he was the best out there.
For stat number 10, we're going to look at their team success. The 1996 and 1997 Bulls had the top 2 spots for the most wins by any title-winning team.
Sure did.
Then he has a 3rd appearance in the top 10 with the 1992 Bulls. That is the most out of any top 75 player.
Been telling you guys, that 92 Bulls, man, they were something else.
Crazier about all the team success he had is that we can never claim that Michael played in a super team. This leads us to stat number 11. Did you know that he's only played with 1 All-Star teammate for his entire career? Only Scottie Pippen has played alongside him in an All-Star game. But that's not something that he could always count on. There were 6 seasons where he was a lone representative for his team. So for 40% of his career, he was the only All-Star. Could you imagine what he could have accomplished if he played with All-Star teammates for his entire career? There's no question that those Bulls teams in the 90s were all-time great. But that doesn't change the fact that there were times where he needed to do the heavy lifting. This leads us to stat number 12.
That also raises an interesting point. Jordan is the greatest of all time because he had to be in order to win. If he was on a stacked roster like we see a lot of these current stars, like Kevin Durant and LeBron James and all these guys, like with all-stars surrounding them, they have to produce less, But in Jordan's case, he had to constantly produce maximum in order for them to win. So it pushed him to be that great. If he would have been surrounded by stars, he might have got spoiled out there, and we would have been looking at like a 20 points a game or whatever, because they probably would have been cruising through victories. But this was built out of necessity. The product that we see of Michael Jordan. He wasn't out there just showboating or trying to look cool. Like, he was just desperately trying to win. And his production, it is what it is.
In the 1997 playoffs, Michael accomplished something incredibly impressive that no one ever talks about. This was the only time in history that a team won the title with only 2 players averaging over 10 points per game in the postseason. Michael averaged 31.1 points, Scotty averaged 19.2 points, and everyone else was under 8 points per game.
Crazy.
Michael shot 46% from the field, which is lower than his normal efficiency.
Yeah, it is.
But you would have to excuse him, as he was asked to score over 1/3 of the team's points every single game. It's amazing that they were still
It's about usual for him, averaging at least 30. Normal games are going about 90 something points back then. So yeah, he was pretty much, imagine that. You have an off game. If you can't score today, your team might get blown out by 30 points. That's the life of Michael Jordan.
To win the title. Believe it or not, there are some who claim that Jordan would have never won in the 80s. They have obviously forgotten how dominant he was during the golden era of the NBA. For stat number 13.
Yeah, that's crazy. Give him any of his championship teams, like as they were, same age, same maturity and everything. Throw them in the 80s, they're winning. They're winning a couple.
Check out what he accomplished during that decade. He posted the 2 highest points per game averages, as well as the 5th highest. He's among 4 players to average over 3.2 steals per game. He has the top 3 highest win shares, value over replacement player rating, PER, and box plus minus. He posted the 5th most triple doubles, and he is tied for the 4th most top 3 finishes in MVP voting, along with Dr. J. Yeah, I think Michael would have done just fine if he had a legitimate squad during that time.
Agreed.
Despite the overwhelming success he had, there are some who penalize him for his playoff failures against the Celtics and against the Orlando Magic. But people fail to realize
it's weird because this clip. Okay, so people penalize MJ because he alone he couldn't get. I'm talking alone. He couldn't get past one of, if not the greatest teams of all time, the '86 Celtics. They're still in contention for it, and I'm sorry, they're better than the Warriors team because they actually won a championship. That season. So it's either them or the 96 Bulls. Once again, won the championship. So people give Jordan crap for this, and I don't understand it. It's the weirdest thing, but it's petty. Now, next clip.
And against her,
that's like the equivalent of punishing Shaq and saying, "Oh man, you sucked," because in his early years he couldn't get past Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he got past 45 Jordan that first season back, even though I don't even count that. That is what it is. But like the following year, he got swept by Jordan. He couldn't beat him. Like, he couldn't even come close. We don't penalize Shaq for that because he was young. He was still figuring things out. And the difference is Shaq had a roster. Shaq had a roster that was good enough to go to the NBA Finals the year prior. But we don't penalize him, and we shouldn't penalize him. That's the beginning of the journey. This is at the point of maturity where Jordan and the Bulls were, So I don't get it. We don't use that same treatment on anybody other than Michael Jordan, and it's so weird to think like Jordan's second year in the NBA, and he just came back from an ankle injury earlier than he was supposed to. The organization begging him not to play. But he says, F it, I'm going to play. And he's playing in the playoffs in the first round against, at that time, probably the greatest team of all time, gets swept, but goes out there and scores 63 points, 50-something points, 40-something, and shows everybody in the world, hey, I'm coming. My team is coming, But now we consider that like an embarrassment and a failure. That was not an embarrassment. That was not a failure. That was a guy, people were counting him out, and he's saying, I just started. And guess what? He was just starting.
Orlando Magic. But people fail to realize how incredibly tough it is to dominate in the playoffs while only playing 20 games or less in the regular season.
Yep.
There are really only 3 examples when it comes to star players, which leads us to stat number 14. We first have Wilt Chamberlain in 1970. He only played 12 games, but in the playoffs, he averaged 22.1 points on 55% shooting and 22.2 rebounds per game. They were only 1 game away from winning the title. Then we have what Michael Jordan did in 1986. After only playing 18 games, he averaged 43.7 points per game on 51% shooting against the Celtics in the first round. Then in 1995, after a 21-month absence and only playing 17 regular season games, he did this in the playoffs. He averaged 31.5 points per game on 48% shooting. History indicates that it's extremely hard for someone to play like themselves in the playoffs when they're out for the majority of the regular season.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone else would have gone to pass.
That's why like the Kawhi Leonard load management thing kind of blew up last year. And I think that's also why he's playing more this season than he has been over the last like 5 or 6 years. Because they tried that with Kawhi last year. He basically didn't play all season. Then they put him in the playoffs. And even though he was playing individually pretty well, the team had zero chemistry. The team's not used to playing with him, and he's not used to playing with his team. So what happened? They got their asses kicked in the playoffs, as they rightfully should. Yeah, it's important to play the entire season, guys. This load management thing, like maybe one game here, one game there on a back-to-back, I guess, if you have to. But to like miss months of the season, you're ruining the whole chemistry, man.
Circumstances, except for one guy. That's because Jordan didn't use that as an excuse, and he raised his level of play. This was something that he always did, even from the moment he entered the NBA. For stat number 15, we're going to remember what he accomplished in his legendary rookie season. Since the merger, he is the only rookie to average over 25 points per game while shooting over 50% from the field. If you look through all of history, he is only one of 4 players. As a rookie, he was embarrassing his defenders and there was nothing they could do to stop him. His efficiency is one of the most impressive traits. For stat number 16, he proved that he is the most efficient volume scorer. Starting in the mid-90s, the pace started decreasing and the defense went to another level. Players weren't scoring as they do now. But in 1996, Jordan remained the most dominant offensive force. He averaged 30.4 points per game on 49.5% shooting. Did you know that it took nearly 20 years for a player to average over 30 points while being that efficient? It wasn't until 2014 when Kevin Durant was finally able to surpass those numbers. But by then,
that makes sense too. KD, you say what you want about the guy, he is one of the most efficient shooters of all time, for damn sure. 50%. If anything, most coaches complain that he doesn't shoot enough to field goals, 10 for 20. Yeah, because I mean, and he doesn't have to shoot that much more, but take like with the pace, the current pace of the game, take like 5 more shots a game, man. You're good for it. You're shooting 50%. He's still pretty much shooting 50%.
Kevin Durant was finally able to surpass those numbers. But by then, there were several rule changes that promoted a more offensive-friendly league. For Michael to post those numbers during that era highlights how skillful of a scorer he was. We continue with his efficiency for stat number 17. There has been 31 times in history that players average over 30 points per game while posting a 60 true shooting percentage. Jordan has done it 4 times, which is the most in history. Again, we have never seen a more efficient volume scorer. But his efficiency goes beyond the shooting numbers, as we'll see with stat number 18. We're going to look at the lowest turnover percentage for players that average at least 5 assists per game. As you can see, he has 2 spots in the top 10. In fact, Michael has 6 appearances in the top 50. Michael was very conscious of not committing errors when he had the ball. That includes placing the ball at the perfect spot to allow his teammates to make a play. Jordan could absolutely break a defense down with his passing. For stat number 19, he proved this in the biggest stage. There have been 5 times that he posted over 30 points and 10 assists in the finals. That is the second most ever. Imagine saying that Jordan wasn't a great all-around player. People could get so confused with how staggering his scoring numbers are. When you see stat number 20, you can understand the confusion. He had 38 games where he scored over 40 points or more in the playoffs. That is more than what Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, Hakeem Olajuwon, Vince Carter, and Luka Doncic have done for their entire careers in the regular season. The bigger the moment, the more aggressive he was on offense. That's what you
there's
want.
My 93 Suns moment.
From your star player.
Jordan Stopper.
There's no
Jordan
greater
Stopper.
example than what he did in the 1993 finals.
Hey, we're really going to focus on it? All right. I thought we were just going to clip it. All right, here we go. I'll lock in. Let's do it.
Averaged 41 points per game on 51% shooting. Which
Are you talking about his shooting percent, his PPG?
3 finals. He averaged 41 points per game on 51% shooting, which is the finals record. But for stat number 21, that's not what we're using. Did you know that there was one player that scored over 40 points against the 1993 Phoenix Suns? For the regular season and playoffs, it was only Jordan, and he did it 6 times.
Jesus.
We can't act like players were having a field day against that team. In fact, they were 9th in defensive rating.
Yeah, no, we were the best team in the league that year. Well, I mean, until the finals, that is.
Had no answers for the greatest scorer in NBA history.
Yeah,
That's nothing to be ashamed of.
It's not.
No one had an answer.
I'm not ashamed of it, man. You guys are watching the highlights. What? Look at Dan Marley. What the hell am I supposed to do? What else can we do to stop this guy? They did everything they could. MJ just better, man. Great offense beats good defense, no matter what you can do, man.
That includes the most legendary defensive teams. For stat number 22, we're going to use a few.
When I reacted to that John Havlicek video of the most underrated player of all time, quite a few of you guys mentioned Joe D, and I'm with you, man. As far as like people I've seen, Joe Dumars might be the most underappreciated, underrated player. I think I can think of off the top of my head, at least.
Examples. Let's start with the Bad Boy Pistons. From 1988 to 1991, Jordan scored over 40 points against them 8 times, and he shot under 50% once.
Wow.
As you can see, no one else did it more than once. It's no wonder they needed to invent the Jordan rules, and even then, they still had little to no answers. Then we have those tough New York Knicks teams. From 1992 to 1997, he scored over 50 points against them 3 times. Only Dominique Wilkins was able to score that much against them. Then Pat Riley went to the Miami Heat, and they were equally as tough on defense. From 1996 to 1998, we can see that only Jordan and Penny Hardaway were able to score over 40 points multiple times.
97 Penny. Wow, he went off that day.
But of course, Jordan was able to add a 50 piece against them. And finally, in honor of 23, we're going to add a clutch stat. Michael Jordan is the only basketball player to ever claim to accomplish this. He made the game-winning shot to win the national championship and also the NBA Finals. Unlike some players, Michael Jordan had the clutch gene right from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
That concludes this list. But what about you all? Are there any stats that weren't mentioned that prove to you that Michael is the GOAT? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.
Oh man, a fantastic video. You guys, link is down below for a link to the channel. Is there anything you didn't mention? I think honestly, I think at this point the debate is so well conquered by MJ that there's not any more stats needed. I mean, come on, guys. Jordan fans get accused of just falling back to this, and I'm starting to actually start to fall back on it. There's so many examples we can throw out of why Jordan is obviously the greatest of all time, and I'm sorry, LeBron just isn't even close. But if you want to just simplify it, I get why Jordan fans do it. 6-0 versus 4-6. Shut up. The conversation's over. But we can throw all this other stuff out there. Absolutely. But honestly, I think it falls on a lot of dead ears. Because at the end of the day, if they don't know with 6-0 versus 4-6 who's better, and plus you got a guy who how many times was Jordan scoring champion? Yup. And then you try to say, oh, he's just a scorer. No. How many times was he first team all defense? Oh, shoot. So he was great on both ends. The conversation's over, you guys. They know it. That's the thing. The LeBron fans, they 100% know it, but they're just in absolute denial. So, it is what it is. People can choose to live their lives how they want, and if they want to just lie to themselves, because of some fandom they have over a player, so be it. Let them be. It's weird, as long as they don't bug me. Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. This is a great video. Like the vid on your way out. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet. And yeah, be water, my friends. Peace out.